Okay, we'll get right into it. When you come into your Google account, in your Gemini account, just double check that you're logged in with your school email. You'll see your little picture or your little letter up on the right, and just hover over that and you can see which email address is logged in. You should also see a shield here, which adds additional protections with your education account. So everything you do in Gemini just stays within your school domain, and when you leave, all of that data is deleted. So when we click Tools, we're having a look at Canvas today. Now, if I click on Canvas and I then don't want to be using Canvas, I can get out of there. So click Tools, click on Canvas. Now, when I click back in the search box, it'll come up with some suggestions. So let's build a fireworks generator today. You'll see the difference of when we're using Gemini or Gems versus Canvas, that over on the left is where we give our instructions or our input, and over on the right is the output. So you can see here, click or tap anywhere to launch a firework. So I now have my working fireworks simulator. You can create so many different opportunities using Canvas. It could be something like a web app, infographic, quiz, website, lots and lots of different ways that you can use it. So really, it's just your imagination and where that can take you. So you can see over here, hello, a fireworks generator sounds like a fantastic idea for a visual demo. I'm building this. And then you can try again without Canvas if you like, but we're not doing that today. You can see it's in preview mode, so I can see what it looks like. And for those of you who love a bit of code, you can see the HTML code is sitting there. So if you're working with Digitech students, you can work through that, and you could change the colors of things, change the way they look, etc. if you understand that code. If you click on share, then you can copy that content. So there's a few different ways that the sharing works and different options it will give you. This example, all it is a preview with HTML code that sits behind it. So if you wanted to put that somewhere for people to see, you could either put it on your school website or any other site. But what I've been doing is just putting things on a Google site. So I've set up a Google site called Playing, and this is where I copy and paste all of my projects that I've been doing on Canvas. So you can see here, there's a whole heap different ones that I've been doing over time. You can also just pin your projects, which I'll show you in a minute. I might obviously stop naming them at some point. I was just copying and pasting stuff over. So what I did to get them there was I just went page, new page, and we'll call this fireworks, done. Now, then I hit insert and I go embed. Now, there are two options, by URL or embed code. We're clicking embed code, and then HTML code goes here. So I go back to my fireworks simulator, and remember, I can preview it, see how it looks, or I can see the code. I can also click share, and that will copy the contents of that code. So if I hit copy, it's copied to the clipboard. Now I go back to my Google site and I just go paste. And I double check, does it say HTML at the end and HTML at the start? It does, good. Sometimes it misses that and I have to go back into Canvas and say, please ensure this is set up as an HTML code. So then I hit next, there we go, insert, and I can move it out so it takes up as much space as I want to. And then when I hit publish, I can come back in and I can look at my site and tap to launch those fireworks. So that's one example of how you could use it. And if I really like that one, when I come back into my chats, expand my menu, I can pin that so it's always going to be at the top. So I can rename or I can pin my recent searches. Right, so let's try another one. We'll go tools, we'll go canvas, we'll just use one that's already here, build a weekly workout routine. So it's created me a weekly workout routine, and you'll see here now it has a drop down. So I could create this as a web page, which was what you saw before, the HTML. I could create it as an infographic, a quiz, flashcards, or I could create an audio overview. Right, let's do something. Education. Create me a interactive activity to learn about plants native to New Zealand. And let's go tools, make sure we're on Canvas. You'll see it there when you're on it. And let's see what happens. Remembering we'll know when we're in Canvas because we'll have our input on the left and our output on the right. Sounds like a great way to explore the amazing flora of Aotearoa. Put together a single page interactive card system where you can click on 5 iconic native plants to learn their Māori names, etc. So Kōwhai. Traditional uses, Pohu Te Kawa, Harakeke, Te Koaka, and Silver Fern. So let's then say, can you find a YouTube video that educates people about New Zealand native plants and being added to activity? It's telling us what it's doing. Taking a little moment. Here we go. Oh, well, it's given it a good go. There we go. No, it hasn't quite got the link right. Can you find a video that is live and can be used? Chuck please in there. So there's the conversational side of it too, where you can actually say, no, I don't like that, or these are my branding colors, these are our school colors, swap out the green for these colors and put the hex code or whatever you use for your colors. It's having a bit of an issue there with the video, but we won't focus on that. You can see the opportunity there. And then again, if I click share and go copy contents, and then I can go pages, new page, natives. And then again, I go insert, embed, make sure I hit embed code. If you try and paste it into there, it's not going to go anywhere. So embed code, checking HTML at the bottom, check at the top. Yep, perfect. Insert. And look at that. Now the video is working. Just needed to be patient, didn't we? So you can see here, I'm just dragging it because it only puts a certain little box on there. And then we can see we've got this beautiful video that we can watch. And then we've got a little bit of information about each of those native plants to New Zealand. What you could do then is say add an interactive quiz for students or interactive flashcards. So lots of different ways that you could do it. You could then pop that into your Google Classroom or just have this site as a learning site for students and get them to screenshot the information that they've used or summarize the information that they've used. If you pop a quiz in there, then they could screenshot their answers. So let's stay on this one actually, but we'll go new chat and we'll go again, Canvas, and we'll say create an interactive quiz with 10, let's say 7 questions aimed at 12-year-olds to understand their knowledge of plants native to New Zealand. Make it look funky and interactive. We want it to be interactive. I've checked that I've got Canvas clicked there. Here we go. We've got our code coming in. We're being patient. What have we got? Funky flora quiz. Okay, so which native tree has bright, often bell-shaped flowers and is sometimes called the New Zealand labanum? Never heard that word before, but I know that a corphice. Got the yellow. Next question. So you can see here what happens if I get it wrong. Oops, the correct answer is highlighted. That's great. So you can make it more difficult. You can make them easier. Again, I can copy that and I can actually put it in my preview mode. Come out of preview mode and I can put it on that same page if I want to. Embed code, paste HTML at the bottom, HTML at the top. Next, insert. Same page. I don't have to have a page for every project. One of them that I did, I had that they had to put their name at the start, and when they finished the quiz, they had a PDF download certificate with their name on it with how many they got right. So there's so many things that you can do. Just make sure if you're adding to a site that students have access to that you're hitting publish when you're adding those edits. Otherwise, they'll just have the last version that was published. But a really quick way to make some cool interactive activities for students. So again, if we just go back to Gemini and we click on tools, we go to Canvas, start with one of the prompts, or think of something that you could use next week. It's always really helpful. If you want to come back to one you've already done, expand menu, you can go back into them and it will open up, and then you can continue to work on that or tweak things. So you don't have to do it all at once. Again, make sure that you are in your school account so it's nice and private, and you'll see your little shield there too. You can also add some files into there if you want things to look a certain way or update something that you've already created. You can upload those and ask it to do that. So go to gemini.google.com and start creating. I'd love to hear or see what you've created. Feel free to send me some screenshots or your Google site with your interactive activities. Sometimes there are glitches. Be prepared for that and be ready to move on and start again. Don't waste your time with things that are just really frustrating. It's a pretty smart tool, but it definitely does have its glitches. So just make sure that you make it work for you and you're not using up too much of your time when it isn't quite working for you. Hopefully there's something there that you can take away, and good luck with your Canvas creations.